So traders, that is a wrap for the year. Or anyway, should I say Happy New Year to everybody. There's a lot of things I want to share with you today. A bit of a market update across the markets. I'm going to share with you one market and also one trading technique about how when this happens, we tend to get some really significant pullbacks, as you probably saw with the thumbnail on this video as well too. Also, I want to share with you obviously gold, silver. And then also I want to share with you one trading pattern to look out for is that whenever I'm trading the markets, I am always looking for opportunities of positions to get into that's likely to make a big move, right? So for example, for me, whenever I'm looking for a trading opportunity, what are those opportunities that I can look for that has the potential of making a big move? Because that's what we want, right? We don't want to make a small profits, right? And that's exactly what the way that I personally trade, right? The way that I personally trade is I trade where I'm looking for opportunities where I can get in today and hold it for a few weeks, maybe for a few months. And if I can apply a bit of leverage like options or a bit of margin, then we can start to really talk about some really big returns in our market, in our trading, right? So I'm going to talk to you about the number one trading pattern, or one of the best trading patterns to look for, that it's nothing's 100%, but when it does start to work, yeah, it really works. So traders, if you do need some help, I'm giving away free access to my complete trading course. It's actually, there's like, I don't know, probably about 5 to 7 hours worth of content in there. If you do need some help, guys, for this year, I'm giving away free access. There should be that first link in the description there, guys. Go click on that right now. So let's actually start off with silver and gold right now. And today, on the silver basis, silver actually had a bit of a nothing day today. But right now, silver is definitely not a right time to be looking for trading opportunities. Now, this is for daily charts. Obviously, if you're trading 1 minute charts, 2 minute charts, 5 minute charts, those sort of time frames, obviously there's a bit of opportunities happening from there. But we're looking at when it comes to, again, the way that I personally trade, guys, is I like to spend half an hour, maybe an hour doing my trading. Right? That's all I like to do. Because again, guys, I'm not looking to sit in front of the screen the entire day, right? What I'm looking to do is I'm looking for opportunities where I can get in today. And I hope I'm pretty sure with you guys that if you're trading now where you're looking in front of the screen, 4, 5, 6 hours a day looking for opportunities, right? Looking at those smaller time frame charts, I can guarantee you what's happening. 1, you're probably getting tired a lot. 2, your discipline goes out the window. 3, what ends up happening is now your patience you become really impatient, especially if you haven't taken a trade. And then 4, you end up losing money, right? And you're like, oh man, I've spent 20 hours looking at the markets and all I've done is lose money this week. You know what I mean? It's like, it's so, I'm telling you right now, guys, I'm telling you right now, you trade in the markets, okay? And this is for this. Once I made this shift myself, my whole profit skyrocketed. Once I shifted from looking at the markets for 6, 7, 8 hours, sometimes 10 hours a day, looking at all these markets and shorter time frames and 1 minute charts and 2 minute charts and 5 minute charts. There's nothing wrong with that, but you just got to put a cap on how you actually trade how you actually trade that. And I know, guys, I used to sit there and it'd be like waiting for a good opportunity, and you sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait. And especially this day and age, right? Impatience is the number one thing about trading the markets, right? So when we're looking at the markets, we're looking at the markets as a whole of you need to be patient waiting for these setups. And what ends up happening, right? You end up getting tired. You end up getting worn out, because trading, looking at the charts like that, guys, like that many hours consistently throughout the day, guess what? It's mentally and emotionally draining, right? It's like, oh, should I be now? And so on and so forth, right? So you need to have more discipline, you need to have more patience, and you need to have more consistency when it comes to trading that way. And unfortunately, traders, I understand it. Like I used to trade that time, and it's hard. You sit there for sometimes 2 or 3 or 4 hours not doing anything, and you're like, what am I doing here? What am I doing? I'm supposed to be making money, not just sitting in front of a screen. I'm not making any money right now. And then you look for any opportunity where you think you can make some money, which is a big mistake, right? Whenever you get into a trade because you think it's going to make some money, that never makes money, right? The only way that I've been able to do really well is, what exactly is the setup I'm looking for? What's the pattern? And then let's be patient. So the purpose of me bringing you down the path of what I'm saying here right now is once I flipped it once I flipped it to now looking at daily charts where I'm looking to get in today, I look at the markets for half an hour, scanning for opportunities where I can get in today and hold it for a couple of months and have the potential jumping on a big move. So instead of looking for smaller profits on the 5-minute charts and so on and so forth, I'm trying throughout the year, I'm trying to have a handful of trade that makes a big move for a few months. And if that happens, then you can start to really have a big percent increase on your account by taking small risk, right? Especially when you start to use things like options and stuff like that. It's just incredible, right? And you think about this from a numbers point of view, right? If you put 10% of your account in a position, say with options as an example, right? 10% of your account in the market with options, okay? And let's just say, for example, you knew that your loss was going to be, a big loss for you was going to be 50%, right? So big loss is going to be, all right, I had a 50% loss in this position. So therefore your 10%, your 50% loss is what? 5% loss. Now, what happens if you can jump on one of these really big trades, and what happens if you start to do 30? My biggest trade that I had last year was almost 400% return. So think about that. If I'm now in the markets and I risk roughly say 5%, which is a big loss, by the way, big loss. My average loss is 20 to 30% there, but that's a big loss. To say I'm risking that, but my account grew just by using 10%. My account grew by, now I actually had a lot more than that on this particular trade, but I'm using simple numbers. My account grew by 40% by taking, a big loss would be 5%, probably taking 2 to 3% on average loss to have a 40% increase. You see what I'm saying here, right? We want to be able to set ourselves up to have those sort of opportunities throughout the year. So if you can jump on a few of those per year, before you know it, to do a 40% increase on your account by taking a 2 to 3% risk, you see what I'm saying here? Like, this is the way that I personally like to trade myself. This is where I like trading spreads and stuff like that. It's never been really thing for me, or even just writing options where you receive an income, right? Because why? Because you limit yourself. I'm looking to minimize my losses and then having big profits. And that's the reason why, like, once I switched to trading that, instead of trying to make a big profit today, understanding I'm looking to get into, I'm looking to make a big profit over the next few months. That's when everything started to change for me. My income took off, but then also my freedom started to change as well too, right? I started to have more opportunities and so on and so forth, which again allows me to do what I do. If you are interested in all of what I'm saying here, guys, I have a complete coaching program where I'm with you every single week. If you go to Get John's Help, there should be a link in the description. You can find more information about that if you're interested in joining my coaching program where I hold your hand through that entire process for the next 12 months of this year. Happy New Year, guys. Happy New Year. So, the purpose of me bringing this up from here is that from my point of view, back to what I'm saying with silver, my point of view is looking at silver is, guess what? There's probably not much going on there with that there. Gold had a small little update today, right? Small little update today, but we're still holding here. And the really good thing about gold is we are just holding here, right? We're not selling off strongly. And this is where when looking at this gold chart from here, this gold chart for right now from here is just holding here just quite nicely. And as long as we don't get even if we do get, like, I always saw that we're probably likely to have a movement on the downside to around about this level around here, right? Just a short-term little drop to the next support level. And we still could quite possibly get that, right? But maybe, just maybe, we're not going to get that. Again, we just have to wait and see. Right now, we still have many months before we continue up. And I want to start to see things starting to shift again in the markets. And the thing is, one thing I really do like is this is what I'm looking at from here, right? Is you can see we actually had this complete, by the way, see this, I'll share. Remember I said before about the number one trading pattern that I look for, that I can make big moves? Is this pattern here, right? This is the pattern here that I was talking about at the start of the video, right? And that is what? Whenever we do get this long extended period of sideways movement, this long extended, I find that as an energy source, right? And whenever the market's going sideways like this, it's building a lot of energy. And I find and I tend to see that whenever we have these many years of sideways movements and we tend to get the breakout, that's when we tend to have these really big moves, and you can start to look for some really good opportunities from there, right? This is the number one trading pattern. Let me just share with you. I'll go back to gold here for just a minute here, and then I'll share it with you. But on gold here, guys, we're just holding here sideways. So maybe, just maybe, it's another one of these, right? Maybe, just maybe, it's another one of these, another one of these, and another one of these, right? So we have to wait and see that again, this is the weekly chart here. So what you want to see on the daily charts is, let me see if I can bring this down to here. Beautiful, right? What we want to see is what? We want to see this daily chart. These are my daily charts down the bottom here, by the way. And the reason why, by the way, the reason why I have my screen set up like this, guys, is because this is my 3-month daily, 1 year, and this is about 2 to 3 years. The reason why I do that, guys, is because I'm trying to get a real good picture on what's happening with this stock right now. Small picture for precise patterns and entry points, and then I want to make sure with the big picture, which again goes inside of of looking for opportunities that's likely to make big moves, right? So we can see from here that what I'm looking for is, I'm looking for this thing to start to pick up and then start an actual upward phase. Because right now, as we know, right now everything's just going sideways, but we are holding here. So if we continue to hold strong here with gold, right? And again, we probably have a, last time we did this, as you can see, last time we did this, we went sideways. We went sideways for about, is that, where'd you go? Where did you come? Oh, there you go. All right, cool. All right, so last time we went sideways for about 4 months before we actually started the really breakout, right? We've only been going sideways for what? Now, month and a half. So we may have another couple more months of sideways movement. And if it does just hold here, that's actually really, really good. And there could be another good trading opportunity for me to jump on another big move out of the gold market. But so far, so good. We're actually holding here quite strongly. So I've never seen a really big crash in gold as well too. I've just always seen a little bit of short-term movement on the downside from here. So back to what I was talking about before, guys. let's go back to that number one trading pattern. Remember I said before, the best pattern that I really like to see. Now I have my trading set up, but when it comes to the market general structure or way it works, is whenever we do get these sideways movement, I'm trying to look for opportunities right here, right there, as it's breaking out of this a couple of years sideways movement from here. Let me show you some examples of what I'm talking about here. Right here, is it that one there? No, not that one there. This one here, right? Here's an example of what I'm talking about, right? So if I look at this here, look at this. See how we got all this sideways movement from here? It happened for many years, right? Many years. So whenever you're looking at the stocks, look for many years of just channeling, not much going on. Because whenever we do break, now there's no guarantees, right? But again, I'm looking for potential of making a big move. What if, and as you can see, as it broke here, we had this really big move to the upside, right? And so I always say the potential, right? Let's just say, for example, that's all you traded and only 50% of the trades made this big move and the other 50% didn't. You're going to have an incredible year, especially if you start to overlay things like options. Like, can you imagine having an option position if you just bought an option on this trade here? You know, potentially we're talking about 1,000% return. Now, again, go back to the same numbers as I said before, right? This is where, like, I want you to be thinking about the way that I like to trade is I like to have small losses and big profits, right? That's where, for you guys that trade spreads, for you guys that just write options to receive an income, you're limiting yourself, right? You're capping it, right? Oh, I'm going to write an option here and it's going to receive an income. You're capping it. And that's where, like, I don't like to cap it, right? I like to be in a position, and again, it's all about setting up the foundations of having a successful year. And so, therefore, if I'm trading a strategy where I'm limiting my profits, like such as spreads and so on and so forth, that doesn't work for me. But if I'm simply just buying options, right? If I just buy options with plenty of time, well, then I know that I can get out for a small loss, or even a decent loss. But then if I jump on one of these really big moves, I can capitalize on that, and now we're talking big growth in there. Makes sense, guys? So that's one example there. And here was another example that happened just recently. Just recently when it comes to the markets, like TPR, right? Look at this here. What actually happened? Look at this. This is since 2021 we had this sideways movement. Look at all of that resistance. What happened? What happened as soon as we started the breakout from here? Look at that move, just woof, right straight to the upside. Woo, straight to the upside. So I don't trade just based off this pattern here, right? But what I do is that whenever I see this sideways movement from here, then I have a trading pattern that I look for, and I'm looking for my trading pattern to set up right here. If I can start to get my trading pattern that I look for, my trading setup to look for, set up right there off the back of that, it is a winner, a big chicken dinner. All right? Not for me last night, I had salmon. Right, so there you go, guys. I hope that really helps you out there, guys. My number one thing that I'm always looking for, and again, if I go back off the back of gold, this is the exact same thing I actually did with gold, by the way. Right, if I go back to here, right, if I go back to here, look at this. So when we had all this sideways movement, from here, guess what I was doing through here, right? When we started the breakout here, guess what I was doing? I actually took a trade here, and I wrote that I had a nice trade there, and also another nice trade right here as well too, right? A trading opportunity. But as you can see, right, whenever I do see this here, I'm getting really excited. The most amazing thing about this is that there's many setups that are giving me this setup here. And in fact, I'm in 2 trades right now, and one of them have exactly this one set up. I've been in it for a few weeks. This could be a few month type of move, and by the time I get out of this could be a really big profit. Because I'm in it, now I have to be patient, right? I always say, to make big profits out of the markets, we need patience out and patience in, right? Patience out is, look at this here, we're waiting. This thing to set up here takes many months, actually takes many years to set up for this one here, and then it takes many months for me to actually get my trading set up, right? When it comes to that. So patience out, waiting for this. And that's always the hardest part, is scanning, looking, crowding. But then when you're in one of these trades, it needs patience, right? Some people are like in and out every day or a few days. For me, I'm like to be in and hold it for a few months, look for capitalizing a big profit, and we can go from there as well too. So let's go look at the, let's have a quick look. Oh geez, let's have a quick update across the actual stock market itself. Where'd you go? Oh, there you are there. Right, okay. So the stock market, let's go duplicate. Let me float you in the window. Oh, let me. Oh, just bear with me, guys. There we go, tab 2 there. Okay, cool. All right, I'm back now. So on the Dow Jones, guys, again, right now we had a little bit of a sort of a small little down day today, but we're getting very close to that slingshot pattern starting to form place. All right, guys, we're still getting very close to that slingshot pattern forming. And the slingshot pattern to me is this here, right? Whenever we get the pullback and we get the boom, the slingshot, right? It's getting the pullback. I believe we're starting to get ready for a bit of a slingshot move coming out of that through there. Looking at the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ, just a small little down day today. Very strong upward move from here. I definitely wouldn't want to be short in this market. And this is always the hardest thing, right? It's like, when's the top going to be in? It's like, we never know, right? So we just, most of the time, and if you are trying to pick a top, right, that's why I don't like to try and pick, I don't do reversal patterns, heads and shoulders, double tops, and all that sort of stuff. I don't do that, right? Because why would you, right? I remember I said before, right? The way that I set up my own personal trading is I want to have a really good, powerful trading setup on the chart that's like going to make a big move. I want to start to use things like options, so I can put, say, even 5% of my account in that one market, risk only a few percent of my account, but potentially have a big growth on there. You see what I'm saying? For me, like standing up from here. But then also, I want to make sure that my actual foundations to my approach is going to give me at least a decent win-loss ratio. Even when I go through a horrible time, right? I want to make sure that even if I go through a horrible time having a few losing trades in a row, if I have 4 losing trades in a row, I want to be able to have 1 or 2 wins in a row to be able to still make a good profit, right? If your foundation is reversal patterns, which most of you, I'm seeing a lot of you guys do out there, like you understand, right? If you look at the S&P 500 for the last couple of years, what has been the most successful trading approach? Going with the trend as with the markets, or trying to look for the reversals? Going with the market, right? So having a proper foundation for this year, for you, is just that. Have the right foundations of the right thinking, right? Because if you know, like, okay, the way that I'm trading right now, if I'm trading reversal patterns or heads and shoulders or double tops, yeah, you may be right, but how many times do they actually plan out, right? They plan out what? They plan out maybe 10% of the time, maybe 20% of the time they plan out, right? And the other time that the market just continues. And if it does plan out, guess what? Most of those only have a small move before it then continues the trend as well too, right? So as you can see all through here, the best trades, not only the best trades, increased win-loss ratio and bigger profits have come from these big moves from here, right? So I hope you can see, right, guys. And again, if you do need some help with this, guys, that's why I have my complete coaching program for this year. If you do need some help, guys, second link in the description, you can go check that out and I can walk you through this. So as you can see, it's the right strategy, it's the right approach, it's the right risk management as well too. And then it's also the right foundations of how you're actually approaching the market in the first place. So bit of a gold nugget for you guys, all right? Bit of gold nugget for you guys for this year, 2025. Happy New Year. Or it's America's still doing the Happy New Year thing and the firework thing and all that sort of stuff, right? So we can see we're still in a very strong upward movement. I talked about yesterday with this bit of a head and shoulder formation, and if this head and shoulder formation does work, right, and it does start to play out, well, guess what? It's probably only going to play out as much as that there, right? So to me, I'm definitely not looking to short the market. Guess what I'm doing? I'm looking for long positions, especially like right now. Right, so that's what I'm seeing from there, guys. And also, what I was talking about, and I'm pretty sure I've actually put this on the thumbnail. If not, well, I've probably talked about it or something in the video. But I want to talk to you about this level here, right? This is Bitcoin right now. I have nothing against Bitcoin. Bitcoin, here we go, yeehaw, right? Bitcoin's going to the moon. It may do, right? But look at this here. And this is one thing, guys, it's just be able to set up techniques. Like I like to trade with the trend. I like to trade because that's where the biggest profits are, right? Trade with the trend, increase win-loss ratio, and the chances of jumping on a big move. You're never going to have a big profit by trying to trade reversal patterns, okay? I'm trying to help you guys this year have a proper foundation so this time next year, you're like, oh, I've had a pretty good year this year. Even though I had a few months there where I was pretty crap, man, I had 3-4 months of just amazing profits, and that's where I hope you get what I'm saying here, right? So, as we can see here, this is what I like to do. This is how markets work. Whenever the markets I like to put on, say, a 24 moving average. This is a 24 moving average on the weekly chart. And I'm just using Bitcoin because it's a purely example of what's happening right now with Bitcoin and what's probably likely to come soon, right? So, here we go. Really, 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 really one simple technique, right? If you are looking to buy Bitcoin, right? How does the market work? Now, this is work for any market out, by the way. Put this on gold, any market out there. And I promise you guys, if you just use this one technique, you're going to have much better buying opportunities. If you're looking to just buy something, right, you're going to have much better buying opportunities. And how does the market work? When we look at the moving average, whenever we start to get too far away, we get these stretching motions. We even had it here, and we're doing it again right now. What ends up happening? We end up coming a drop to the moving average, right? We even got a drop here to the moving average. Now, it wasn't a big drop, right? But we got the moving average here. So what's probably going to come soon, right? Well, we may even get the moving average coming up through here, and we get this thing dropping down through here somewhere, right? And for them to come together. So the purpose of me doing this here is because I know people like the whole Bitcoin thing, right? Don't be a lover of Bitcoin, guys. Who cares about Bitcoin? Who cares about gold and silver? Who cares about anything? I'm here to make money. So that could be Google. By the way, there's actually a nice setup happening on Google right now. That's according to my actual trading setup that it is. But there could be a really good trade happening on Google, which there is, right? There's actually something, like I said before, I'm in 2 really good trades right now. They're on individual stocks, right? So don't be a lover of, I'm a crypto trader. Like, who cares, right? It's like, no, I'm an all market trader. I look at commodities, gold, silver, individual stocks, the indices, right? I look at the crypto market. I even look at 4 major Forex pairs as well too. It's like, I keep an eye on all of that. right? So the purpose of me bringing this up for you guys is that if you're just looking for really good buying opportunities, now the reason why this is so important is because a lot of even through my actual coaching program and the people that I coach, which by the way, guys, my 2024 was my most successful year ever as a coach, as the amount of profits that I've made from my coaching program, or how much they've done themselves. And the success rate and the feedback has been the best ever out there from there. And one of the biggest mistakes that I see even my coaching clients do is they're not utilizing this when it comes to a foundation of looking for good entry points, right? And what I mean by that is that they'll wait for this thing to take off through here, and then now they're looking for opportunities through here on the daily charts. Remember, this is a weekly chart here, right? And one of my job as a coach is to help them not get involved with these, because yeah, it may have a small move, but it's not likely to make a big move because we're now likely to be getting these pullbacks. And one of the biggest, a few of my coaching clients that I had last year, one of the biggest mistakes they were making is that even though they were trading daily charts, remember I said before, I like to look at the daily charts to get in here, right? Even though they're trading the what's the word for it? The daily charts, by looking for good entries on the daily charts, by utilizing this here, you can see here that if we started to get some good setups here, maybe here, even through here, or even right now, if we had a nice setup on the daily chart, but we saw where we were on the weekly chart, we're too far overstretched, the overall sentiment is very, very, very heavy on the downside, and we're likely to come back to it. So, and therefore, we're not likely to make a big move. When are we likely to make a big move? We're likely to make a big move when the market goes sideways. When the market goes sideways, right? We can see this even on the downside. Look at this here, market went sideways and we're on a bit of a downward slope from there. So there we go, traders. Hope this really helped you out. Happy New Year to everybody. All right, this year's going to be an amazing year, guys. Speak to you soon.